Hey everyone, it's Nina, aka Psycho Food.
And I'm Tiff, I take one for the road.
And welcome to our podcast. Should I have said that with you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it again. This is our first episode too. And this is welcome to our podcast, Just One Bite. Here we talk about food, content creation, life, pop culture, and everything in between.
And we'll be releasing new episodes every week, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram at justonebitepod.
Yeah, because it's never just one bite.
You're always wanting
more. That is our tagline, but it'll be a work in progress every
we're
episode.
refining it.
Yes, no. Yeah, because I think us saying it together, we're like, just one bite, you know? But I think we'll get the hang of it later.
We'll get the hang of it again. We had it down 2 years ago when we were trying to start this podcast.
Yeah, so that's what we're kind of going into a little bit, because I feel like a lot of our friends knew that we wanted to start a podcast, but then we never embarked on it. Until now. Yeah, we definitely tried. We tried last year, but the intention of why we started it is because me and Tiff just have great chemistry.
We do. We just clicked instantly.
Yeah.
Through social media, not even in person.
Yeah, so the way that me and Tiff kind of became friends, both of us are foodies, so if you might know us, we're based in Southern California, and we do all types of food. We eat anything, but surprisingly, you and I don't really cook too much.
Yeah, we don't really cook, and we're not the biggest fans of hamburgers.
Yeah, yes. Hence the one in the background.
I only like In-N-Out burgers.
I mean, In-N-Out is definitely growing on me too. Yeah, I'm like one of the. I feel like we're those few people who don't really eat burgers, but yeah. But either way, we eat other types of food aside from burgers and stuff. I feel like a lot of our content that we create are just our food adventures, whether
Travel,
whether it's local or out here in different countries. And I definitely think Tiff is way more travel versed than I am.
Just spend all my money on travel.
But you definitely
broke.
have no. I definitely think you have a worldly takes on things. So I think there's a lot of things that people will love to hear about your stories and adventures.
Oh, I'm sure. I have lots of fun stories.
Yeah. We definitely have a lot of fun stories of each other.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I feel
that is true. It'll
be
fun to share all our memories together with everyone here.
Yeah. I think it's kind of nice too, because the way that Tiff and I became friends, while it was on social media, we found ways, I think, to just strengthen our relationship, because the way that we met, I used to have this live YouTube show back during COVID, called Battle of the Foodies, and some of those episodes are still on my personal channel, but I had invited Tiff, who I had been following for a really long time on food blogging back in 2017, 2018 or something, and then I had this I had this YouTube show, and then I invited her to be playing these virtual games.
It was a game show that Nina hosted every week, and we would battle other foodies in different games. I remember winning.
Yeah, no, she did. Yeah.
And because one of the games was, what is the name of that game where you draw? It's Pictionary almost. Was it on OMG Pop or something?
It was similar to definitely it was a virtual charades, but you instead have to draw, and then people have to guess what that word is, and then guess what she's drawing. So we definitely made it interactive for the circumstances that we were in during COVID. Yeah. And then finally, when that had lifted, Tiff and I had ran into each other at a food event, a food festival, where we're meant to be. Yeah, and that's where I think that's how we met, in person.
So. It was probably our first time meeting. It was really brief. But then that was summer of 2021 probably, and then by fall of 2021 we were becoming closer. It was like our second time meeting at an El Barrio event.
Yeah,
right?
like at a local like restaurant,
And we were just like, and we were just like filming together, cheersing like our drinks.
I know, yeah. And like Tiff has like such a bubbly personality, so I really like think. So I think I think that's why like we definitely like click a lot more, just because we have like a nice like outlook to the way that how we do life. And I feel like it's nice to be like surrounded by people who are like you, or just like very like cheerful. So like from there, like Tiff and I have shared like a lot of like great memories from them. Like we've traveled together, like we went to Hawaii, had a girls trip with some of our really close girlfriends. We went to Malibu recently. That was really fun. We went to Vegas. Yes, we did Vegas. And then I think our biggest trip together was Disney, which we'll go into more either later or another time. But we went to Disney Orlando together for a week, and then we went to the Bahamas on a Disney cruise for a weekend. And it was just like a content-filled trip, totally for Tiff, because she was the one who was in that awesome Disney Nina was program. Like the best plus one ever. I was a plus one, and we had the best time, and we made so many great friends who you'll probably meet throughout our podcast journey as well. But we're like, the reason why we like started this podcast was because we wanted to like have a place where we can talk with our friends, like where we can talk about like our experiences, and just have that like nice, more personable experience with content creation. Because I think despite what you see like on Instagram and stuff, we're always like filming like local restaurants that we go to, or like activities and experiences. But I feel like being able to talk like this, like more casually, and then more like conversationally, like that's not even a word, but conversationally. No, I totally get it though. It's nice having conversations with your friends, kind of just like picking at each other's brains, or just sharing different experiences that maybe we're not necessarily exposed to, but other people are. But and we just wanted to have that, I guess, space for like us to create that like longer form like content that's more like meaningful, like when we post, so not just like short form content anymore. So that's why we extended to doing this Just One Bite. But I feel like when we like really like started thinking of this, it was back in like 2022, 2023. It was. We filmed a few episodes in 2023 in January and 2024. So it's been a couple years in the making. And then I think we were like, you know, back then, because even Tiff was talking about this yesterday, like from back then, I feel like we kind of have evolved as like creators and people. And then there's been obviously a lot of like highs and lows, but I definitely think we have like, I don't know, just we were just different from before than I think now. We're just in different stages of life. And I don't know, Nina still has the old episodes we filmed, so it's in a vault somewhere. Maybe we'll share it. We'll share it with you guys in the future. I don't know. I was definitely not looking my best during those days, and I remember filming half of those episodes with my glasses on because I was like about to get LASIK surgery. So oh my gosh, and my glasses were not cute. It was like the free ones you get at the store. So no, I remember that. We filmed an episode, and I think it was 2 weeks before your LASIK, and then like I think the next time we filmed was like a couple weeks later, and then that's when you were wearing your glasses. Oh my gosh, I forgot that detail. Oh man. It's okay, now you can see. 2020, love it. And technically like half the viewers only really need to hear us. so you guys don't want to look at our pretty faces. They can listen to us instead. But I feel like we just definitely have changed like through the years, and I think because we're older now, I think we just have just at a different phase too, because our frontal lobes are developed now. Is it apparently by like age 25 your frontal lobe is more developed. I'm like, we're done. We're done now. But I feel like we wanted to just have this platform again to like talk about different things. But the first thing that we really wanted to start in the podcast is talk about the ins and outs of 2024, but going into 2025 now.
Yeah, ins and outs of 2025.
In witches.
Insert like picture of Karen over here.
Right there. Karen is one of our friends that we met at Disneyland, and so she was dressed up all in green
in honor of the new Wicked movie.
Yeah.
She filmed this one very creative video of her on a Swiffer.
Yeah.
Hopping. You've probably all seen it. It went so viral all over all of social media.
Yeah.
She's painted green and she's just taking little hops up and down, up and down. We'll insert like a little clip here.
I know,
so you guys can watch it.
It was like so hilarious because she was basically just jumping up and down, but like it will cut when she was in the jumping part, so it looked like a fluid motion of her just flying. And then she was like going into the movie theaters to watch like Wicked, and that just went so viral. I was like, that was so funny.
So funny. I told her next time when Wicked Part 2 comes out, I was like, you should get like a hamster ball.
To be Glinda. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Yeah. I like that idea. She's just rolling in. Yeah. Technically, that's not a like costume. It's just protection, maybe. Like, because they said that
transportation.
Yeah, because they said that you're not allowed to wear like costumes to like movie theaters, just like for safety reasons. But then.
Yeah, would it be a costume?
Yeah, it would be
mode of transportation.
The safest it can be. But yeah, so ins, witches. I feel like another like in would be probably like I guess okay, first and out I think would be like that whole idea about having like a big house or having like big weddings and stuff. And like the in is downsizing, because I feel like a lot of our friends, they're very like content with like what they have, and we definitely like splurge on experiences. But I think when it comes to like having your own like place, I think a lot of my friends now like they enjoy having like even just like a 2-bedroom instead of like maybe like a mansion and stuff. And I feel like that kind of puts people in an awkward space about not wanting like it's something so like unattainable if they have like a mansion. But you know, you can always manifest like having a mansion. But the idea of like downsizing to have something like cozy or comfortable like within your means, like that's completely okay too, and you don't need to validate your like life because of how expensive things are.
Right. Yeah. And I think times have just changed. Yeah. You know, the value of money has changed, and it's really hard for someone in this time to afford really big weddings and big houses. I feel like growing up, I, you know, had the goal of like owning a house by a certain age and having a big wedding. And then now that I'm at that age that I set my like goal for, I'm like, it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. And it's not because I'm not working hard. It's just everything here, at least in LA and OC, is so expensive, and just hearing how much even just a small weddings costs, like a small wedding these days could cost an arm and a leg.
No, seriously.
Everything, like especially after COVID, I feel like the wedding industry really just like inflated.
Dude, like crazy. Yeah, and I think we talk about it a lot, and it's funny because we're not getting married like anytime soon. But like a lot of like our friends are starting to get married, and then I feel like they have to spend like at least like tens of thousands of dollars like on their wedding, when some people might want to use that as like their down payment. And then it's weird too, because some of the down payment is like obviously like 20% or 20 or 30%, and then maybe it's already like 20 grand for that, which is like almost equivalent to like how much you would pay for a wedding. But there's also so many like little factors like to like incorporate with your wedding.
I know. And just talking to our friends who've gotten married recently or who are planning their weddings, they're like, whatever your budget is, basically double it. That's what it's gonna end up being. You know, people are paying like, they're getting quoted $20,000 just for flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so ridiculous. No offense. I mean,
I think like you definitely have like certain things you would prioritize as like things that you would find super special, like or really identifiable to your wedding. But in the grand like scheme of things, like everything's just like so costly too. And some
Mm-hmm.
people like again feel like, oh, if I don't reach like this certain dream like in the highest way possible, they might not get to like enjoy like really living like in that moment. So yeah, I feel like downsizing like is okay, and like I've even heard people like have kind of a smaller like wedding, and they even like rent an Airbnb for
Yeah, and
like
it's
a good
just as fun.
30 guests, and that's like something to for like their closest like friends or family. So I feel like that's
Party
definitely like
out of home.
yeah, I definitely think that's like respectable. And then I think even now too, like people really value like experiences and having like things that they can do like throughout the year, and so yeah, like like because sometimes like a 20 grand trip, honestly, that's like at least like I don't know three, 4 different trips.
Yeah.
Maybe not even 4 trips, probably like 6
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing. I feel like another.
That could lead into basically how we were talking about how house parties are in now.
Oh
And going
yeah,
out
I
is
agree.
like kind of out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely there are times you want to go out and things like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I think people like even just celebrating, let's say like a New Year's Eve party or something.
Yeah.
House parties are where it's at.
Yeah, like some of like our great friends, like one of our friends, her name's Diane. She I feel like is such a good planner, like when it comes like to hosting and such, and she's had some like really like cool parties, like I feel like I don't really
Oh, your birthday party. She
Oh,
threw you
yeah,
a birthday
yeah.
last year, and it
yeah.
had a smoke machine and everything. It was
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah, I definitely have Diane and Joe to thank for that, because they
Yeah.
definitely I wanted like kind of like a warehouse party almost, where like my boyfriend like JD, he was DJing, and then they had light fixtures like around, and we were just like dancing. But it's so funny because I definitely think everyone was near the food section,
Yeah.
which is also what I like dream of too. And
Yeah.
it was pretty fun. We've also had like even for like Valentine's Day, we like made
Yeah.
bouquets like this year.
Yeah, we just like hang out at home,
mhm.
and it's so nice.
Yeah.
And just I feel like also during this time, everyone's trying to save money too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like going out, one shot or one, drink is gonna cost you $20.
I know. Why
Which
is
crazy.
that?
Like for New Year's this past year, my best friend Angel, she throws like a little basement party at her apartment for New Year's. We all come together, we all drink and party, and at the end of the night they just Venmo everyone, and it was $14
Wow.
for the whole
wow.
night.
That's not even happy hour deal.
Right? Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like,
that is so ridiculous.
if I went out to the club or the bar, one drink, I don't even think $14 could get me even one drink, to be
yeah, no,
honest.
not at all. I feel like even honestly $20 is almost unheard of for like a drink, for like a cocktail, because I feel like
Yeah.
those are easily like $25, $35, and you're just like and then it's like a cocktail.
And then you have to tip, and then there's tax.
yeah
And at least in LA or here, it's like 10% for tax.
yeah
and
it's very like expensive. Like, just like just being young and having fun is kind of expensive.
It
But-
is.
But
It
like
is.
our idea though, I feel like an inn is just like doing wholesome activities, because you can still definitely have a lot of fun without having the need to like buy a drink or like having to like party and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I feel like partying is just like out, like that club culture I don't even think is like a thing.
Yeah.
and then
Unless we're just getting old. I
Yeah,
don't
you know
know.
that could be.
But I
it
mean, I
too.
do like going out when we travel.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, that's pretty
different.
fun. Yeah.
Back here at home, I feel like not as much, because I don't know, going out to the same club or the bar every single weekend does not excite me. But when you're traveling and you want to go out, I think it's different.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're
Because
in
it's like a different.
place.
I feel like sometimes when you go out to that nightlife too, there's like a certain culture that people like have.
Yeah.
In a later episode that we wanted to talk about, Japan, and so like me and my friends, like we went out for those nights, and people there are just like super nice, and everyone obviously, like when you have like a drink, sometimes it's like nice, but also like that nighttime life is really like special in different areas. Like in Japan, like everyone, I feel like they'll have something to do. Like round one sometimes is open like 24 hours, and then or like even just going to like a special like speakeasy or something, like those are also like cool concepts too. So there's always like something that could be not like always like having to be like wild or anything, but there's definitely like nightlife in different like countries and areas. So I'd agree to that. Yeah. But I guess another like in I feel like is contrary to the whole like wild like scene. I feel like an in is bed rotting, which might be a little controversial.
Yeah. No, I agree though, because I think past me would think bed rotting is like not cool.
Oh yeah,
because in my head I was like always out, always keeping myself really busy, and I think in my head if I was not being productive or doing something, I was like not happy with myself.
Yeah.
But now I'm at, I think maybe with age and just like with burnout and things like that, I realized like, no, you need to just have a day or a few hours just for yourself, like some me time, you know, just to recover and prepare yourself for what's to come.
No, I feel like if you don't know what bed rotting is, it's basically like, what was an old term for bed rotting? Like, not like, you said it yesterday, remember? It was like, it's like equivalent, bed rotting is equivalent to just
couch
like,
potato.
Yeah, couch potato. Yeah, like, I feel like that's like a general like comparison to what bed rotting is, but you're basically just kind of like laying around and then just like really doing nothing. But I know there's kind of like a stigmatism, I guess, to it, because people think like, oh, you're not productive, which what Tiff was saying. But I feel like too, if you're someone who doesn't have like a lot of time for yourself, like that's like the only time that you get like
to yourself.
Yeah, like, but
to decompress, to relax, and I don't know. If anyone's listening and you're young and you're hustling, I respect that, but I wish I listened to even my parents. My parents always said you're gonna burn out by the by the time you're in your 30s, or you need to slow down a bit. And in my head, I was like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thriving. I'm like hustling 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. like every day on the weekends too. No, you will burn out, and I think you should take time to just focus on yourself, just to rest. Your body needs rest, your mind needs rest, so that you can perform at your best.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is like a good amount of time for like bed rotting where it starts to become like not productive? Like, what would you think? Do you think?
I think it varies. There's not a set amount of time, because for me it's like if I need to rot in bed for a little bit longer, I will, kind of a thing. I don't set a certain amount of hours, because I still am very productive. I still have like a set schedule or like an itinerary of like things or a task I need to get done for the day. But if I'm feeling a little tired, or if I know I'm going to be really busy and I'm planning out my schedule for next week, I will just schedule like 2 hours to chill.
Yeah.
Before it was like packed, literally 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like 5 different collabs a day or something.
Oh, I know.
Back to back to back, driving all over LA. Like, no, that doesn't.
We were really crazy back then.
Yeah.
No, we were so crazy back then. Like back when
we were hungry though.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're not hungry now. It's just.
You have to be more like, I guess, mindful of like the direction and energy that you're like putting towards things. Yeah, because literally Tiff and I would like plan out a whole day, because we don't want to like have to drive a lot of areas, like from like LA to like 66.
And I think that's why we get along so well. We're both all about efficiency.
Yeah. I think like that's why like we definitely work, because we want to make it like efficient as possible. That's why we go to like 5 different like restaurants so we can get our collaborations. But then I think too, like it ended up feeling like a mass production of like things that we were trying to pump out like content wise. So I think that's where the no more like value towards like how much like excitement, I guess, for like each type of video. Not that saying like, I guess, quality hasn't like gone down. I feel like if anything, Tiff and I have definitely got our groove and rhythm to like content creation. But I think too, like us like having to like make all these like videos all the time, it's just like
it's a lot, and we work full time too. I don't know if everyone knows that.
Like, I think that's actually true, because I feel like a lot of people, like, they might not think that content creation is like an actual thing. Probably people thought that content creation was an out, I will say, and then now like I think people are recognizing that content creation and like marketing and
social
creating your
media
brand is like an actual thing, even more so now. Like I know that's been kind of like a thought on the rise, but then people have like full-time careers in content creation, like whether you were like a TikTok creator or if you were a YouTube creator or Instagram creator, like all of those were different. So I don't think people like realize it until now, until they saw a lot of people like succeeding or like maybe quitting their 9 to 5 to do content creation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like in general, I feel like an in is like content creation, an in and but an out is just like what we were saying like before. I think also in like I guess an in, Tiff wanted to talk about the like let them mentality.
Like the let them theory. I guess this kind of goes with like the out I was talking about too, is like situationships or and I think this is like a topic we'll probably cover in another episode, just like dating, relationships, situationships. So outs are like situationships, ins are, I would say, the let them theory, which is, and this applies to not just relationships but friendships as well. It's kind of just learning that like you can't control everything, you can't control what people do, and you know, not everyone's gonna meet your expectations, and you just let them. If you know a friend doesn't invite you to like a brunch with their other friends, but you guys are all friends and it makes you feel bad, let them. It's okay. You know, if a guy is not texting you back, let them. It, like, you can't control it, and I think it's easier said than done to not be anxious about it, because I have definitely been anxious over things like that, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably at times am still anxious over it, but I'm learning to heal my anxious attachment style to become a little bit more secure in that way. So I think this year it's really just about like allowing just letting go of things that you can't control, and when things don't serve you anymore, learning to also just walk away. And that would be like with my out for like situationships, you know, give them 3 months, and if they don't know what they want, or you know, it's not serving you anymore, you just have to let them go, let them do whatever they want to do, and you just walk away and protect your own energy and your own peace. And you will find something along the way that's gonna fit your life better and like what you're looking for. And I feel like I'm in the rut of it right now, and honestly sometimes I feel like I give great advice to my friends, but then I'm like, why don't I take my own advice, you know, because I find myself like crying or being really sad, and then my friends are comforting me with the same words I'm basically speaking out about. So
well, I mean, sometimes in that case it's hard to like give yourself that advice, because when you see it in others, you see the bigger picture, and it might be easier to form like that like puzzle when you're like the outside person. But then when you're speaking of yourself, like you're thinking about all these other like concepts, like the puzzles are like multiplied, and you're like, I didn't think I was doing like a 500 times 4 like puzzle like jigsaw puzzle. But no, I completely like stand that, and it's kind of hard to like deal when you have a lot of things like going on in your mind and what you feel like you deserve, but then because of external factors you don't know what like to expect. But yeah, but I guess maybe like an in would be like talking about like how you like cope with all of that like anxiety, and just really like focusing on your like health and like wellness and stuff. So do you feel like there's things that, despite like all of those kind of like lows, do you feel like there's other things that you like rely on to keep your like energy or your spirits up or anything?
Definitely. I think, like you said, health and wellness, just like taking the time to focus on myself, bettering myself. And I know people are like so sick of hearing that, like when people are saying like, oh, you just need to focus on you and focus on yourself. Like, trust me, I've heard it millions of times. I'm constantly thrown back into my single era, so I get annoyed too, and I'm just like, I've been focusing on myself for the last 30 years. I've been working on myself. What do you mean? And like some other people, they just find their soulmate immediately. So you're telling me they don't need to work on myself? But no, like I've really just taken some time to like lean into those words where it's like, just take the time to do the things I want to do now while I'm single, you know? Try to appreciate the single era, because I do have a lot of freedom, right? I do have a lot of freedom. I can go and do the things I want to do. And with health and wellness, it's like I've been doing more walks. I've been taking more Pilates classes. And it's been 2 years since I started doing Pilates consistently.
I walked in here today and she was like, this is year 2.
Yeah,
like
this
already.
Is year 2. Yeah. And it's been probably one of the best things I've ever done. And I thank my mom for getting me into it. So I think ins are like low intensity workouts, like Pilates, walking. I want to do like, a lot of girls they made it their goals to walk like 10K steps. For me, it's just like getting a walk in there every day, even if it's not 10K steps, you know? 6K steps is just as great. And just focusing on literally doing the things I want to do, doing things that serve me, hanging out with my friends. You know, I really love all of my friends. I consider all my close friends my family. And just focusing on those relationships, because at the end of the day, like, they're the ones helping me mend my heart that they didn't even break, you know? And I'm forever grateful for all of my friends, for letting me talk about the same things over and over and over again. And I'm sure you guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but that's also a great way. If you do have great friends who are willing to listen to you talk about it, I think that's a great way to process and to heal as well.
And I think it's okay to to talk about like the same thing like all the time, because you know it might be just something that you're very like focused on in this like moment in this chapter of your life, but then sometimes you might need to have that like repetition to say things, because it might not click the first, second, seventh, or 10th time, you know, but by like the 11th time maybe something magically really like makes you like change like your perspective.
You wake up.
And then sometimes like when you get to like rely on your friends about like about certain like things that are happening in your life too, like I think it just builds up your like solution to things, or just how you like see things differently. And it's nice to like hear that feedback from people, because I think good friends will be able to give you that feedback or honesty, but they're also like your friends for a reason too, where like I'm sure you probably wouldn't have stayed friends with some people if like you didn't like really like feel and find truth in what they're like saying too. So I feel like there's always like value when you get to like rely on other people. So so there's some trust there. So it's definitely like nice to like have that reliance. What would you say is like another like in when it comes to like friendships or like types of people? Like I feel like,
what do you think?
I think like another in terms of like friendships is maybe this could be an out too, but I'm thinking of like, have you guys ever seen that like hierarchy of like where you place like people in your life? Like some people are like, everyone can be your friend, but they can be different degrees of like your friendship and stuff. So I feel like it's sort of like in to be able to see like how you assert effort to each type of person, because sometimes you might have like your best friends or just people that you're maybe like acquainted to, and then I know a lot of like people, they might put their all into like every single type of like relationship or friendship that they have, but then sometimes it gets draining. Like
it does, because not everyone's gonna reciprocate the same energy that you put forward, and then you end up getting gypped a little bit.
But then you should also be like setting the example of like, okay, well, I'm displaying this type of like effort and stuff. So I also think this is another in that we wanted to talk about, was like dressing up for your friends, or making yourself look presentable like to the people that you care about, because you know like despite if they're an acquaintance, someone that you're like you were like maybe high school friends, and then like work friends, and then close friends, like each type of person like you can assert an amount of energy towards like how like you guys relate to each other. But I still think it's an in to like display yourself in like a positive like manner, or just present yourself like confidently with each type of person, because like that's how like maybe they like see or again like relate to you. But
yeah, no, I love that. I agree. And then I think the out that would go with it would be like also setting boundaries, learning how to say no, because there are friendships that over time you learn who's just taking advantage of you, maybe. And, you know, at least with you and me, I know sometimes we've had to learn like the hard way because we do give a lot. And we're pretty chill people. People take advantage of that. And I think over the last couple of years, we've had to learn to set boundaries, to protect ourselves, to learn how to say no. And learning how to say no is not just like, it's also just to protect our energy, because we are the types to say yes to everything that we also spread ourselves so thin. And then that also leads to just like being burnt out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, in another episode, I'd love for us to, like, talk about, like, how we do, like, how we deal with, like, attachment styles. But then, like, I feel like a lot of people who maybe have known us, like, from, like, school and stuff, like, Tiff and I are pretty, like, extroverted people. But I think, like, over the years, we became, like, a little less, like, I guess, like, extroverted.
A little more introverted, because I think people took advantage of our energy and it drained us a bit. So we've had to take a step back.
Yeah, but we did like value the way like we like take time for ourselves, which I feel like is the difference between like being like really extroverted or very like introverted. Like neither are like bad nor bad or anything.
They're both great.
They're very good, because I feel like people who are more like is that like introspected or something, where they're more seeing like themselves and like really valuing their time, which is something that I feel like I really learned from like others, where they're like, we have to like make time for ourselves, like
we have to
like
recharge.
there's like there's no way that I'm going out again for like another like social occasion, and like I never really understood that before.
Same.
And then now I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like trying to find a weekend where or like I'm available. But I think there's like so much value to being able to like, yes, have that time for others, but then have your time for yourself, which I think also is part of like the wellness like idea, because if you're not able to dedicate time to yourself, then like your health would, I feel like, kind of declines a little bit, because I think even for myself, I feel like my mental health has like kind of like gotten more like, it's just formed in a different way, where I feel like, yes, I'm what Tiff said, I feel like I spread myself a little like too thin, and then now like I'm just craving for that time to be like by myself. But then I also feel like those are only the times that I'm able to like, maybe I even like work out or like remember that, oh yeah, I should probably like eat better, you know. Like you know, like like those stuff, like I feel like doesn't like cross my mind when I'm like spreading myself like everywhere. So those times that I've learned to like be at home or just like doing something for myself, I feel like that's where like my mental health improves, and just like my physical like I guess like improves too. But I'm still on that journey. So
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah, no, seriously. I feel like each year like that we go through is just like a different revelation or something.
It is. And I think as you grow older, just like new obstacles get thrown in the way. And like, you have to learn how to navigate life.
No, seriously, like we have so much stuff that we need to do. Sometimes like I wish like I can just be so like sometimes I wish I'm like low-key like a homebody, because I just want to like not really do anything. I want to bed rot, I want to do everything. But then also like I want to be like those like Disney adults. I'll be honest.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
because sometimes like I'm just like, oh, like, you know, it seems so fun to be like,
they're just
like,
happy.
And you know, honestly, Disney adults in, because people like, I don't know, like I know there's like some people who are like always
there's,
upset.
like negative stigma around it.
Yeah,
like and I were talking about
like
this.
Why? Like we don't need to have like Disney adults like be on the cringe scale, because like,
well, we used to be very neutral about it.
Yes, we were very neutral,
and you know, I used to think like, oh, that's interesting. I don't think I ever like had any negative feelings towards Disney adults, but I do see it online. And then now I'm like, what's there to be negative about it?
Yeah,
when
like
you're at
it's
Disney, you're so happy.
I know, it's literally the magical like place on earth. Yeah, literally, like I think our perception changed when we went to the Disney trip, like this past or like last year. But like seeing everyone there, like it's so like dedicated to Disney. Like everyone's like happy, and
Everyone, yeah,
they really
everyone's so
they really like
happy.
bond with the characters that Disney has created and stuff. And so, you know, there's
Yeah.
like Disney is like honestly for like all ages. Like we've seen
It
like
is. And
toddlers.
we were in Orlando when it was really hot, really humid.
Mhm.
We were running on like 3 hours of sleep
Yeah.
a day, running around all day, all night, making content 24/7,
Yeah.
and clocking in 20 plus K steps every single day, running back and forth from all the parks. We were exhausted. We should have been cranky, but we weren't.
Yeah,
And
we
this
were
was a whole week, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's wellness. Wellness, 20,000 steps, doubled. Yeah, no, like I feel like my mental was so like happy at that time because I was like,
Even though we were exhausted.
yeah, even though it was hot outside, it was just like such a fun place to be, and it kind of just reverts back to like being a kid where you don't really have as much like worries anymore, but you're just like super like into life, just like only wanting to be the happiest and feeling that
And just
like,
being in the
excitement.
moment.
Yeah,
And sharing the happy moments with other people who also can appreciate
yeah.
the present moment as well.
Yeah. So I honestly, yeah, Disney adults in. like just having fun, I think is just like an in general.
Yeah, and I think going to Disney, it brings out our inner child.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And I just feel like now that I'm 30, back when I was young, like 15, 20, I used to think 30-year-olds were so old, so lame. Now that I'm 30, I'm like, I don't, like, in my head, I still feel like I'm a child. I don't feel any different. You know, I'm sure, like, kids probably think, like, they see me and they think I'm old and lame, but I'm like, I feel like just as childlike.
Yeah. I mean,
just as wanting to be creative, you know?
yeah.
Like, just as wanting to
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I feel like I mean like look at all these like hamburgers and baguettes that are like
I have a lot of plushies.
Yeah, no, I wish
gift them to me.
I wish you guys can see like how colorful like Tiff is like in person and like the things that she has like in her house.
Do a room.
I
like
know because she like literally the table that is like right below here. It's a Lego table.
I built it.
Yeah, that
Lego
Tiff
drawers.
built. Yeah, and then the tripod is standing on this corn like thing. It's like a corn food. Like
I collect food stools from home.
Yeah, and then the light fixture that we have over here is literally a stack of donuts. Yeah, and then the other light in the back is a dumpling.
Yeah,
like like bamboo thing. Like I'm telling you, like it's like the most creative thing, and so like I think the essence of what we're like trying to get at is that you can still like have like that like unlock your like inner child. And I was gonna like touch on this too. Like I feel like we've like reverted back low-key to being like a kid. You know?
Did.
Like
we have.
Yeah, no, like Tiff has these like nuggets and whatever, and
Dino chicken nuggets.
Tiff, I'm pulling out the Labubu. I'm pulling out the Zimomo.
Yes. Okay, so Nina has been really into Labubu. She started the Zamomo trend, I feel like. I didn't even know they existed. Look at this. It's a giant Labubu. It's called Zamomo.
This is Zimomo. He is the leader.
It's the size of Nina.
I know. He is the leader. And despite him wearing a dress right now, this is actually my dress since I was like a baby. But
we love a good hand-me-down.
Yeah, but Zimomo is, you know, like very stylish in all things. He is the leader of all Labubus and the monsters in the Pop Mart series. If you don't know what Pop Mart is, it's basically similar to like Sanrio, I would say. And Sanrio has like a bunch of characters like Hello Kitty and like My Melody and stuff. But Zimomo is one of the characters, and he's like the leader of all the monsters like Labubu and Mokoko. Like he's so sorry. Like look at his eyes. But yeah, I think
show them the wings.
Oh yeah, like
I put wings on them.
Yeah, so Zimomo has wings, and then there's a tail here that moves. But basically, like, I would say, like, Labubus are in. Like, people are, like, what is with this crazy? Because they're low-key a little, like, cute ugly, you know. But then I can see why people really like and get attracted to like Labubus, and I'm gonna say that this is an in because
It is very
it's
much
an in because people feel like they can relate to these characters, similar to how like they relate to like Hello Kitty or like Disney and stuff. I feel like it creates this like child aspect. But I even heard that like Pop Mart, they created like kind of not like mature characters, but characters that even adults would like really like enjoy collecting.
That's
so
smart.
I think that whole like concept is like why like people Labubu and Zmomo like do really well, because people are like, oh, this is something like I can collect, and this is a pretty high quality doll. I have my boyfriend to thank about it, but it's like pretty like pricey, but it's like high quality dolls. It's not like maybe something small like a teddy bear, but it's definitely something that I feel like really unlocks people's like inner child a little bit, because they're like, oh, I want to play with this, oh, I just want to collect all the colors, you know. But yeah, so this is Zmomo. Yeah, I know.
So cute.
Yeah, I think when people first see it, they're like, why is it so huge? Like, I don't know, but Zmomo, yeah, you just deserve like the best. But he can watch us unless you're creeped out, Tiff, if he's looking at you.
Oh no, it's fine.
She's like, oh no, it's fine.
I haven't gotten into them yet.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I get it, because I'm like that with my Squishmallows and my food stools. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll slowly convert you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm turning my whole page into
Labubu. Her
yeah.
niche is only Labubu now.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean that's like kind of where like we wanted to like segment too. Like I think our content, I think is definitely our changed, and I wanted to change my content to be like something more like life and not just food. But
we've evolved. I mean, obviously we will forever love making food and travel content, but as we grow up, we kind of wanted a platform where our followers grow up with us in a way, and we can share. I mean, we can look back on the memories, but also just like going forward, talk about other things that are going on in our lives, because my entire For You page on TikTok, it's not really like food anymore. It's like, or at least mine's all like like breakup TikTok and like healing TikTok, and I think that's like the era I'm in, you know. And I love that the algorithm is algorithming, and it's doing its thing, and it's feeding me like things that is gonna that it's gonna help me, you know, process and become a better person. And you've got Labubu content, and I love that.
Yeah, so tips for you is all breakup, and mine is literally all Labubu. Like I'm telling you, I think I'm crazy. Like I have so much like Labubu content, and they're just so funny. Like they're just like so like kind of goofy looking, and I like how some of them are like really soft, you know, and I'm just like yeah, so you're gonna see a lot more like content from me that's like that. But hopefully like but I do agree with you, like as we like get older, I feel like our interests change, and I would love for us to like talk about other things, and kind of just be like that best friend that we're like to you guys, you know, where we're like experiencing life at the same time, but then also just ever like growing up too. So yeah, I feel like for us, we have like a lot of dreams that I think that you and I like aspire for. Like I feel like for me personally, like despite like my like content career, like I definitely like on my actual career, I definitely would want to embark more on my like content career, so not just like my professional career anymore. I want to be able to like develop this like platform for myself where like I don't have to just rely like on like maybe like food content, but I'd love to be able to like be establishing like a community with other people. Like maybe we are like all eating a meal together, but I also would want to like grow up, and I know when I have kids, like I would definitely want to like maybe incorporate like some family like types of content where we're doing activities and whatnot. Yeah, and I feel like that's like one dream that I feel like I would really want to like make sort of this like full time, but then also like just really develop like who I am as like a person, and I really see that it's here like in social media too. So
that's so lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, what would you say is like a goal for you like this coming year?
Okay, I had a few in mind. They're in different categories. One is for sure like the health and wellness.
Yeah. Same.
Doing Pilates once a week, and then walking. Walking has changed my life. If there's nothing else you can change, you know, and you're like really busy with work and you don't have time to cook, things like that. Like I don't really cook that much either. Just go on a walk. Even just 30 minutes a day will change your life. Another one is like, I think in the intellectual category, I don't read.
Same.
And growing up though, I loved reading. I would stay up late at night reading. And I don't know what happened, but, you know, maybe after middle school and high school was hard. I was studying a lot and I just didn't have the time. And then since then, you know, college, working full time, I just always put it off. And I think I should start reading again. And so my goal would be like one book a quarter, because my life is so busy. I don't know if I could read every day, but it would be nice to read one book a quarter.
That's a good goal.
4 in the year. I know a lot of other people, they read like 20 books a year, and I respect that so much, and I envy that. But
I don't like to read. I don't like to read at all. I don't really care. I would rather watch something, but I respect you wanting to read, because I definitely think people who read have like a certain intellect, and then it keeps their mind like pretty like active, but I still don't want to read, so so you have wellness, which I also feel like wellness is a good thing for me as well, that I want to be able to be at my like healthiest and then eat well, but then also like be on a good routine when it comes to going to the gym. So wellness is a good one. Reading, I don't know if I want to read, but you can read. What's your other?
Another two that I have. So one is keeping my inbox clean, because especially my work inbox. So I don't know if you guys know, I work in finance full time. Not 6'5", no blue eyes.
She has brown eyes.
No trust fund.
She's got savings though.
But finance.
Like, you gotta pull out the good stuff.
And I get so many emails a day, and I have a tendency to be like overwhelmed now by all the emails that are cluttered in my inbox. So I'm trying to do my best to clear them out, and I would like to clear them out.
Are you in the thousands?
I cleared it to like 300.
You know, that's pretty good.
It was at like 500-600 before.
Gmail sent me like a thing that I need to clean.
Oh yeah, it's like out of storage.
I know, I was like,
my content creation one. They're like, you're running out of storage. I'm like, oh, okay, time to go in and delete some stuff. So that's one, and then the other one would be volunteering more. So I volunteer already quite a lot. I would think for this, I don't know, I mean, I've told you this Red Cross camp called LDC, stands for Leadership Development Camp. I do it pretty much every summer. I'm on like an adult advisory board, and I was a delegate in 2009, and then since then I kind of staffed, and it's just this great program that a group of us work on throughout the year. We have monthly trainings, and then for a week in August, we host about 100 high school students from all over LA, and we teach them different leadership skills, you know, things like how to do a presentation, professional development,
that's nice.
Red Cross skills like disaster preparedness, you know, what to do when, you know, there's an earthquake, teaching them how to like bandage like injuries, things like that. And then also things like stereotyping, you know, how words, diversity, how words can affect people, and just helping them become better kids, better people, and so they can learn things that they can take back down with them down the mountain. And then also incorporating fun like camp-like activities, you know, like a hike, talent show, banquet, dance. So
I feel like these are all like nice. Like I want to be part of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it changed my life.
Yeah, because you know, they don't really teach those at school. You kind of just figure it out. Yeah,
they don't. So if any of you have anyone you know who's in middle school, high school, and you have like brothers, sisters, cousins, you want to enroll them in, let me know. I can send you a link for the next camp, like the application.
Maybe we can put these resources in our,
we'll
like,
put it in our links.
Yeah.
But I recommend it. I've seen kids like come up and they're just like, they're really naughty kids, you know, and then you see how they change and grow throughout the week, and you see how camp changes their life, and they do a complete 180. Their personalities
That's so
are
nice.
like, I mean, their personalities are like the same, but they're they're not as naughty anymore, you know. Like they're just as energetic, but they use it towards bettering themselves, being better people, you know, maybe like, I don't know, just not being as troublesome. So but I do that already, so I want to volunteer more and do other volunteer activities. I went to this place, I think it's called Baby to Baby, for my friend Isabel. She is so sweet. For her birthday, she hosted a volunteering event. And we like folded baby swaddles and socks and just made little care packages for, you know, mothers who are maybe part of like low income families or people who are really in need of baby supplies. And it was cool doing that. I really liked it.
I like that. No, I feel like, I think a theme that I'm like hearing is just like giving back, which should honestly like be a very consistent thing in like people's life, because I know sometimes we forget that, but I low-key feel like we're losing the humanity sometimes, like, and like too. In the world. So then I think when you bring people together, like whether it's like out of like selflessness, or you're trying to help people and not expecting like something in return, I feel like that's what brings us everyone like together, and like just a little bit more like going back to those roots of being like very like human. It's because we definitely like rely on each other when like the people in the community that we're in. So well, those are all like so nice.
Thank you. Well, what about you? What are your goals for this year?
I definitely think like the wellness, like I think giving back is like another thing, and then my content, I would want to like embark more in like developing my like just like outside of like my niche of just like food. But then I think too I want to work on like my friendships, because I definitely I have a very hard time like replying to people, and I think it's just because the type of work that I deal a lot with like client relations, so then I end up having to like talk to a lot of like the people we work with, and so I don't really have as much time to like talk with my friends,
and you're drained from that.
And so like I think going back to just like hanging out more with people, like and then having that purposeful time, like I think that's what I think would definitely help my mental. And also now with the podcast too, I feel like we're definitely going to invite a lot of like fun people like to like come in and like talk and like pick their brain a little bit. So that's like another thing I would want to work on. But I guess in terms of like the whole podcast, like our goals are just like to be here being like your friends, you know, on podcast form.
Just like having a conversation with you guys. Maybe making content that you guys are interested in.
And I think too, like we definitely have a lot of like small things like planned like later on. So
we've got some fun things.
We've got some fun things, and I also think we have like some thoughts about like creating like more in-person things. So we have that like in store, but that's gonna be like a little bit later into the year. I think too we just want to like just overall like have fun with the podcast, and then just create like and resonate with things that we're like really passionate about too, like different like people we work with, or just the topics that we really want to like be able to share, and then like share with you guys. And then I think like small goals too. Should we have a billboard?
That is the billboard is on our vision board, our non-existent
Tiff and I
vision
want to be. I literally texted Tiff. I was like, Tiff, we should be on a billboard across the freeway.
And then she was literally like,
I've been wanting to do that, and I was like, that is a crazy thing to
tell them where specifically my dream is to have my billboard.
She wants it like Tiff wants the billboard to be placed like in areas that are
right outside
of people that are
like my exes, situationships, anyone who's wronged me. Place a billboard.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that they see in their whole radius of their home. And I'm like, that works. I'm fine with that.
The best revenge. I'm kidding.
But yeah, I think that would be kind of fun to like be on a billboard and just like see our face like plastered. You know, like they had some use to traditional marketing, and I want to do that.
Let's manifest.
Yeah, but I look, you want to like, I don't even care about if it's gonna like hit or not. I just want to like look like one of those Chick-fil-A like billboards where there's like a cow like drawing like no chickens or something, or like no cows or something. Like if you see those Chick-fil-A boards.
No, I love that.
But yeah, I think that's like one dream that we
manifest that.
Yeah, we're manifesting that, but just in general, just manifesting like a lot more experiences, just a lot more conversation, because I think sometimes when we're so wrapped up in our jobs or maybe even like our content creation for our own platforms, we would want to like open up the floor to like have like a stance on things maybe people don't generally like talk about, or just like they feel like lost in, and just open the conversation that way. But yeah, like I think that mostly like concludes like the first episode that we have, but they, like I said, we have so much in store, and
a lot
we have a lot of we have a lot
excited.
We have a lot of special guests that are going to be like coming onto the podcast, being in the comfort and like simple abode that we have here. And again, we'll be talking a lot about food, like the food industry where we're in, but also just like general content creation, life, just personable experiences.
And if you guys have any questions, like make sure to comment them below. We'd love to hear from you guys. If there's anything you specifically want to hear from us, whether it's like, I mean, Nina is very knowledgeable in the social media space. So if you're trying to, no, Nina is a professional, and you know, I feel like even with our age gap, I've learned so much from you over the years. So if you guys are trying to like start something on social media, or you're scared, I mean, just do it, and then ask Nina some questions in the comments. She's so knowledgeable.
We
and
definitely
so
have like our experience. Like me and Tiff like have been around for like quite a while, like since like 2017. So I feel like we've definitely built that like knowledge, but or just like I'm an experienced amateur. That's what.
Yeah, like, let us help you, because we kind of did everything on our own. Like I never took a marketing class or anything. You know, everything was trial and error. We built our platforms from scratch. And so and I always love helping people or my friends who are just starting in the social media space, because I wish I had like someone like that. So let us be your big sisters, you know, or if there's like anything you want to know about, let us know. Any suggestions you want for travel, let us know.
Literally like
like I've been to many places, and like I can tell you what's good, what's not good.
But yeah, I mean, and then you'll see more of us too. We'll be releasing an episode every Tuesday, starting from like this episode launch. So we're excited to see you soon, and don't forget to like subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on Instagram at justonebitepod. You can follow me at psychofood or Tiff. All the details here, like here. But yeah, either way, we'll see you again, and it's never just one bite, cause you're always wanting more. I know.